My name is Katrina Venerus. I am the PCSE Senior Stakeholder Relationship Manager, and in this video I'm going to show you how to utilise the new gov.pay functionality that has been introduced to the Locum B form on PCSE Online to make it easier for Locum GPs to pay their pension contributions. So first of all, we need to log into PCSE Online. So we have our username and then to enter our password, and then click pensions. So we're going to go to the Locum Work tile, and then we have already entered the Locum A forms for the periods of work in the month for the Locum Work, and the practices that our test GP worked for have approved the Locum A forms. So we're now ready to go straight to the Locum B form. So we click Locum B income entry, and then on screen we start completing the form. So selecting the financial month, so September 25. The sessions that our Locum GP has worked have not been as an appraiser, so they've been for practice work. So we click non-appraisal claims, and we can see that there are 3 different periods of work that our GP has carried out locum work in. So in this B form, we're going to select all 3 for submission and payment. So we just tick include, and we can see that then we have the total for the pensionable pay and the total for the employer contributions displayed. If we scroll down, then what we need to do next is select the appropriate tier rate. So I've calculated that we should be on 10.7%. So then the system automatically calculates the employee contributions that are due based on this pensionable pay and the tier rate I've selected. And then if we scroll down further, we can see that the system has calculated the employer pension contributions that are due, and then the total contributions that I need to pay over, bearing in mind that the Locum GP will have received the employer element of contributions when they received payment from the practice or practices they worked for. So employees and employer contributions are paid over together. If our GP had any added years, etc., then the amounts would also populate in our form, and we would have our total contributions payable. So all we need to do now is click submit, confirm that, and we'll see that on screen we have a message that tells us the B form has been submitted successfully and the gov.pay button has now been enabled to allow us to make payment. So we no longer have to go to the online banking software as a GP, enter all of the bank account details for NHS England and the amounts to pay, etc. All we need to do now instead is click OK and scroll down the form, and we will see that we have this Pay Securely with gov.pay button. So we click on that, and this will take us straight to gov.pay, which is a secure interface for making payments. This is a test instance that we're using for the purposes of demonstration, but you can see that the total amount of contributions that was calculated is now displayed, so I can't make any error in typing in the wrong amount, etc. What I do need to do now is enter the card number that I wish to pay with. So this debit card is a test card, so we just need to carefully enter our credentials. So card number first, and then just checking that we've got all of the right numbers. Then the expiry date, which should be in this instance 12/25. The name on our test card, so we'll type that in. And the security code of the card also. Next, we need to enter the address associated with the card. and the town or city and the postcode. So enter our postcode. So this is the standard gov.pay functionality now, and then we need to click continue. So you'll see there that I've made a deliberate mistake in the postcode there, so because it's not a valid postcode, then we need to correct that and click continue again. Okay, so we then get a summary of our payment, card details, etc. So all we need to do now is click confirm payment, and that is processed. So you'll see now that we get a reference, so payment ID, it tells us that the transaction has been successful, and we are able to return to the Locum B form. So if I scroll down now, then we can see that we have the payment date and time, the amount that was paid, and that the payment has been successful. So that in essence means that we have submitted our form, made the payment, and there's nothing else for us to do. We can go to the employee contribution statement and just check that the PCSE online employee contribution statement has updated. We scroll down the employee contribution statement and select the financial year. We can select income type locum and then click search, and what we can see is that the employee contributions and employer contributions have immediately updated on the employee contribution statement for the Locum B forms and payment that we have just submitted, and it is as simple as that. So no need now to wait for the payment you've made to NHS England to be notified to PCSE, and then for PCSE to match that payment to your forms before your PCSE online record then shows as updated. You can see that this will now happen immediately when you have submitted your payment. So overall, we're extremely pleased that we've been able to streamline the end-to-end process for locum pension contributions and saving time and effort for GPs, but also removing the risk of any errors in the amount that's paid and the kind of to and froing that has to go on to resolve that. So we sincerely hope that you enjoy this new functionality. Thank you for listening.